Hi, I'm Robin Bensley, host of the food and travel website, robinbensley.com. The Doru Valley in northern Portugal stretches from the Atlantic Ocean into Spain, and of course, it's wine country. Now, what's fascinating is it's the oldest demarcated wine region in the world. 2,000 years ago, Romans were planting vines here, and, well, in that respect, things haven't changed too much. What's also interesting is it's known as the most difficult wine region in the world because of all the steep terracing of the vines. They can't get a lot of big equipment in here, and so often the grapes are all picked by hand and stomped by foot. Here, port wine is king. Now, it's a fortified wine, typically very sweet, often used as a dessert wine, and it is produced exclusively here in the Doru Valley. Probably one of my favorite parts of the trip was finding a remote little village and sharing a bottle with the locals. That afternoon inspired me to make this delicious recipe. I have a 4-pound boneless leg of lamb, and I'm just going to season it. I'm going to mix together 2 teaspoons of salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of granulated garlic. Just all dry seasonings. Mix that up. Now I'm going to sprinkle it all over the lamb. Kind of rub it in as you're going. And turn it over and get this side. Little massage for this lamb. Okay, now I have heated up about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil or canola oil, and I want to sear the outside of this roast. So let that cook for just a few minutes, and then we're going to flip it. Now I'm going to transfer this back to the roasting pan. Now I've placed it on top of a little bit of olive oil, just so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And you want to roast this in a 400-degree oven for 20 minutes a pound for medium lamb. So this is a 4-pound leg, so that would be 1 hour and 20 minutes. While that's roasting, I'm going to work on 2 things. I'm going to make the port wine reduction sauce. I don't want to use all port wine with this, so I'm going to use 1½ cups of red wine, and I'm going to add 3/4 cup of port. This goes in a small saucepan. And we're just going to let that reduce to about 1/3 cup. So when it comes to a boil, just keep it boiling. Don't touch it. Just keep an eye on it, but don't stir it. Otherwise you're going to stir air into it and it won't reduce. So we're just going to let that reduce. Next, I'm going to fry up some potatoes because that will go perfectly with the lamb. So in the same pan that I charred the spices on the lamb, I'm going to add, I have about a dozen gold potatoes, and I love using gold potatoes because you don't have to peel them. So we're going to fry these up in that same oil. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of pepper on them, 1/2 teaspoon, and a teaspoon of salt. Okay, it's been about 20 minutes, so look at how that has reduced to like a third of a cup. I'm going to shut that off for now. Now I'm going to check my potatoes. When they get nice and crispy and brown like this, here's what you want to do. I want to add just a splash of chicken stock. And I want to add some dried cilantro, because this is the main herb that is used in Portugal. So I'm going to sprinkle that over. We're going to turn the heat down to medium low and just let those cook through so they're nice and tender inside and crunchy on the outside. With my port wine reduction, I want to add just a little dash of salt. I want to add just a hint of pepper. And I want to stir in 4 tablespoons of butter. And just let that butter melt in there, because this will make it absolutely rich and creamy. I'm going to take my lamb out. Yeah, it's about 140 degrees on the meat thermometer, which is medium. Now, with any meat that you cook, you want to lightly tat it with foil and let it rest for about 10-12 minutes. Oh, look at that, just perfectly pink inside. Let's serve this up. I like to put the potatoes on the bottom of a platter. And here comes the best part. The buttery port wine sauce. I'm going to take a little taste of the end piece, because I love the end piece, and a piece of that potato. This port wine sauce is so good. You could put it on pork, you can put it on steak, you can put it on chicken. You know, I think you could put it on ice cream. It's so good. And, you know, this takes me right back to the Doru Valley, and I kind of miss my buddies.